Hello, and welcome to Strange Places, where we visit places that most people wouldn't dare to venture. I am your host, Max Power. Ever heard of the Sewers of Paris? Well, we're not going there. We're going to the Sewers of Hinsdale, a suburb 20 minutes outside of the city of Chicago.
This is a map I created of the Hinsdale Tunnel Network.
And now, the adventure begins.
Hinsdale may seem like your average suburban town, but it harbors a secret. Beneath exists a system of tunnels, chambers, and passageways. Today, my team and I will take you below the streets, and we'll explore the vast network of tunnels that exist below this small suburban town.
Should we go in?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going in. This is the west entrance to the tunnel. Right behind me is 83, and this is where Flag Creek comes under 83 and flows to the tunnel, which goes under the entire tunnel. This is the entrance to the tunnel. There's a lot of graffiti down here. Alright, so this is the first section of the tunnel. This is where most of the graffiti is. This part on the west end, and then all the way down on the east end of the tunnel. You see a lot of debris, a lot of rocks, a lot of garbage. This is one of the places where there actually is light, where you can actually see vents leading up to the surface.
We decided to push our phone camera through the vents to see what was above.
See, wouldn't that be dope? It's working. There we go. Sick. Oh, dope.
Someone's backyard. As we moved on, we noticed some smaller tunnels. Now, most people wouldn't think about crawling through one of these, but this is Strange Places, and we go places where most would not. So I decided to check it out.
Okay, there's something up ahead. This is one of the very small parts of the tunnel. Here's the inside. There's some brickwork here, which suggests that this is an older part. There's spiders everywhere. I probably got spiders in my hair. I'm alive. Woo. You see these vents once in a while leading to the surface, and they're full of light, and that's the only place where you can really get cell phone reception. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get latitude, longitude coordinates whenever we get cell reception, so we can hopefully map the tunnel. We're going to try to map the tunnel network. So this is one of the first major turnoffs right here. This is to a cubicle area where you can pop the manhole out. You get to the spot where there's a square. Keep going. These are the smaller tunnels. They're about 3 feet in diameter. They break off from the main tunnel, and they can continue for hundreds of yards. Yeah, we're gonna see what's up here. All right, you get to the spot where there's like the square thing? Yeah. Hey! This right here, this is just a small cube that we're in right now. Manholes leading to the surface.
After that, we headed back to the main tunnel, where we continued until we got to the second turnoff.
This is the second turnoff right here. We can see that other people have been down here. There are blankets that have abandoned, and we also got some waters here. People do come down here once in a while. And you can see some very old stonework over here. This probably went somewhere, and they eventually sealed it off for some reason. So as you can see, there's a shell casing in here.
We found multiple bullet shells, suggesting that someone was discharging a firearm in the tunnels.
These are 357 rounds, 357 Magnum rounds. Luger. 9mm Luger.
357 rounds and Luger rounds were discharged here. Luger rounds left here, of course, by the feared tunnel Nazis. Just kidding, there are no such things as tunnel Nazis. Or maybe that's what the tunnel Nazis want you to think. At the risk of being shot, we continued.
So you can actually hear noises when cars run over these manholes up above. What's that down there? Pieces of wood are down here. What's over there? Right along here is the middle section of the tunnel, and this is kind of no man's land. There is virtually no graffiti on the walls, and it's because not many people make it this far in. So we're around the midpoint right now.
I once again decided to venture into the narrow, cramped pipes.
It's a very tight space right here. As you can see, this is shaped like an oval, not a circle. It's about, 4 feet wide, 2.5 feet high. And this tunnel is completely dry, which is kind of odd. It's one of the quietest places here. A very tight space.
Then, we found a set of tunnels that seemed to go on forever.
I thought I could get through this without saying the F word. I was wrong. I see you. And there's a tunnel down there. See, I'm on like a ledge, sort of. This tunnel right here is very ill-navigable. I would not recommend coming down this part. How far am I from the end? There's nothing really much down there. And, there's nothing really out there. Oh, a few manhole covers up there, but nothing really that important.
We finally got the hell out of there and continued east, through the tunnels.
Just some tunnel art, I guess you could call it. Yeah, kind of interesting. There's Suburb, they're advertising down here. Pretty smart campaign strategy, actually. Steel reinforcement construction right here. I think this is actually the deepest part of the tunnel here. We're 20 feet below the surface, as you can see from where the manhole cover is.
20 feet below the streets of Hinsdale.
Whew. Sounds kind of interesting. This one you can see the street light. I can tell we're by the railroad tracks because you can hear the train going over us. This is the last turnoff. This right here leads to a very old section of these tunnel systems. Probably the oldest part of the tunnel. It goes right under Hinsdale Avenue.
We had reached the final turnoff. About 3/4 in, the tunnel passes under a park at the center of town. Nearing the end of this tunnel, it appears as though we were an unexpected and unwelcome guest for one creature.
Is that a bird? Is that a bat? There it is. Are you getting it? Yeah. Oh shit.
The frightened bat wedged itself in between the stones.
We're heading back. Here's one of the oldest parts of the tunnel. You can tell this is very old by the way the stonework is is done. Each of these stones was individually cut out of a quarry and then plastered together with mortar. This is a very primitive construction method, and then they put it in an ark. This probably dates back to the turn of the century. If you go this way, you can see more of this stone structure here, and you can actually see a brick arch. And this is, once again, this is very, very primitive form of construction. This is very old. This part, however, is built out of reinforced concrete, probably mixed with steel and concrete. This is a lot more modern. This is probably from the 60s. It's completely silent in here, arguably one of the coolest parts of the tunnel.
We headed back to the main tunnel, where we still had to walk half a mile to get to the exit.
That's a big frog. Yeah, boy.
Little bastard.
Oh, wait. Oh, we got dates here? What does it say?
Graffiti suggesting that people have been coming to the tunnel since the late 60s.
It's up to your knees. It gets a little less gross here.
We had finally reached the waterfall, the most colorful and largest chamber in the tunnel.
See? Cool, huh? This is the largest chamber in the tunnel. There's waterfall here, 10 people on the surface here. About 100 yards down this pipe is the exit.
We were almost at the exit. Some of the coolest graffiti is in this part of the tunnel, the last 100 yards before you get to the exit, or the first 100 yards if you come in that way.
This is the east exit or entrance, depending on, whether you're going to or coming out of the tunnel. This is the exit for us, and this is right next to Pierce Park in Hinsdale. So we are at the end of the tunnel, end of the journey. Yeah, we're through the night vision. All right.
I went back there to film in the daytime so I could show you what it actually looks like.
East exit, but it was at night, so I'm getting out of here. On the next episode of Strange Places, we go to one of the most haunted cemeteries in the United States. I'm your host, Max Power. See you next time on Strange Places.